Hi boys and girls. I'm going to tell your family and you about the next activity for this week. It's activity number 2. And in this activity, you'll need some construction paper. Now you can have a big piece that you fold, or if you would like to just have just white paper, you could do white paper just like from a printer. It doesn't matter, okay? Now I used some big paper and I folded it. And I took, let's see, 1, 2, how many colors? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 pieces. You can make it as small or as big a book as you want to. It doesn't matter. But this is going to be your alphabet book. Now, this book doesn't need to be in ABC order. You can do any letter on any page. And we want you to start with the letters in your name. So my first name is Gina. So first I worked on the front of my book, my alphabet book, and I started writing letters around here. Now, moms and dads, grandmas and grandpas, and friends, you can help my students. You don't have to write the letters for them. Now, on the first page, I'll show you. I'll take off the cover. On the first page, I made some dot letters. And you can do that on the front cover of the book, and they can trace on top of it. Okay? Now, boys and girls, after you trace on top of the dots, what I want us to start looking for are things that start with that letter and that letter. So my name is Gina, and it starts with a G. Now, G makes a couple sounds, but the sound that we learn is G, G, G. And so I found a picture in one of my old magazines I kept from Christmas of a girl. And so I'm going to put some glue on the back of this picture. Rub that glue on. I got it rubbed on. Now I'm putting it down on the page. Here we go. Now, since I have not gone over my dots yet, I'm going to get a marker and I'm going to go over my dots, because that's what the dots are for you to trace on top of. Okay? Now I'm going to show you. I'm starting at the top. I'm going to come around. I'm connecting the dots. I'm trying to. And then I'm going to go up and give it a little table. That's a capital G. Now, a lowercase g. I start here and I go around. I make that circle. I go up and then I give it a hook. Okay? Now that is my lowercase g. Now I have found a magazine that has some G's on it. Capital G, lowercase g. Now that lowercase g looks a little different from mine, but I'm going to go on and cut it out. So that's another thing I want you to do, is start looking for letters that you see, not just the pictures, because the pictures can be kind of hard sometimes, but we can find those letters. And we're going to use the scissors, because you know how to use scissors. You're a big kid now. And so I'm going to try to cut so you can see just that G. I'm trying to see if I can see the G while I'm cutting. So I have my G, and I'm going to glue it on the page. Now, if I find more G's, that's great. That's wonderful. I'm going to glue it down. I glued it down on my page. Now I found a capital G. I'm going to cut it out, then I will glue it down. Now, one thing, boys and girls, is when you're cutting, you want to make sure that the letters, when you're cutting them out, they're not super small. Because if they're super small, they're going to be really hard to cut out. Okay? So I have a G. Here we go. So you cut around the letter. Okay? Now I'm going to put some glue on that, and I'm going to glue it on my G page. Now G is not the first letter of the alphabet, but G is the first letter of my name, okay? And that's why I decided to start with G. Now, your name What letter does it start with? Good, that's right. So your family can help you by putting dots on a piece of paper, and you can start looking for things that start with that sound. Because I found a girl, girl. If I found a goose, if I found a goat, goat. Yeah. Or somebody who is doing something good. Now I went on to the next letter in my name, I, then the N, and then the next letter was A. So then once I do the letters in my name and I find a picture that starts with that sound and I find the capital and lowercase, I could do someone else's name. I could do mom. I could do Meemaw. Whatever you want to do. Maybe you want to do your dog's name or your kitty cat's name. But this is to help us so that you can start working more on those fine motor skills, the cutting and the gluing, and identifying the capitals and the lowercase letters. And also throwing in the letter sounds and finding things that start with that same letter sound. Okay? So this is something you can continue to work on, not just one day, and you can just keep adding more letters to it every day. Or even more than one letter a day, if your family wants to do that too, okay? So wonderful. I can't wait to see some of your books. So take some pictures and send them to me this week, okay? Bye, guys.